Hello everyone, and welcome to the third feature race of the 2014 Mopar Canadian National Superbike Championships, the Pro Superbike feature event from Atlantic Motorsport Park, north of Halifax, Nova Scotia. This is your series announcer, Frank Wood, reporting from Superbike. Coverage of this round in the Mopar CSBK National Tour is presented by Magneti Marelli, Dunlop, and Bell Helmets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is your field for the Mopar Pro Superbike feature, a 22-lap contest. Starting from 13th position, wearing the number 76 on the Honda, hailing in from Saint-Marthe, Quebec, with support from Honda Canada and Fast Company, Louis Rafa. Alongside him, a local favorite that wears the number 41 on the front and sides of his Suzuki, hailing in from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Crowdus Roberts. We now move up to row 3, and the outside of row 3, mounted on the 26 machine from Beaverbank, Nova Scotia, Freedom Cycle supported the Rabbit Ronnie Monroe on the Kawasaki. Alongside him from P10, mounted on the Honda that wears the number 17, hailing in from Upper Cloverdale, New Brunswick, the Capstan haulage and Toys for Big Boys supported Caleb Noyles. Alongside him, mounted on the BMW that wears the number 40, hailing in from Schaumburg, Ontario, the pro rookie contender Marco Souza. And filling out row 3, from Caledon, Ontario, mounted on the Honda Canada that wears the number 71, Christopher Garvey. We now move up to row 2. On the outside of row 2, from Longueuil, Quebec, riding for Moto Nation and Laval Moto on the Kawasaki ZX-10R, number 24, the Shaker, Sébastien Tremblay. Mounted on the number 711 machine, hailing in from Saint-Lazare, Quebec, Kawasaki rider Franklin Dominguez, on track with support from Eagle Pay and OCM Racing. Filling out row 2, starting from P5, the Sarnia Speedster on the Blue Streak Racing supported Yamaha, number 47, Will Hornblower. Now your front row. On the outside of the front row, wearing number 42 on the front of the Triumph 675, hailing from Bellefontaine, Ontario, Castrol Triumph rider Kenny Reedman. From P3, from Mississauga, Ontario, riding the Honda that carries support from One Speed Chop Shop and Hindle Exhaust, Trevor Daly. Starting from P2, on the number 20 machine, the kid from Keene that wears the number 20 with support from Honda Canada and Accelerated Technologies, Jody Christie. And on pole, the nation's champion, number 1, with the Ram Trucks, Parts Canada, and Express Lane support on the BMW S1000RR, the nation's champion, Jordan Zoke. That is your field. 22 laps of racing awaits us. Don't need to remind most of you fans that it was about 364 days ago, in 2013, that Jody Christie scored his very first Mopar Canadian Superbike Championship race, and it happened right here last year at Superbike. You can rest assured that Christie has intentions of doing the same thing this year, and most certainly after crashing out of the Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike race on the 600 Honda, now straddling the CBR 1000 that wears the number 20, Christie will very much like to seek some redemption from that mishap in the sport bike race. Okay, our field is now under starters orders. Chris Chappelle with the lights on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They go on. Now they blink off. The field launches. They are away, and goodness gracious me. Oh, does it ever look like Jody Christie? I'm going to give a nod to that one. Now, admittedly, from the Pro Cycle control tower here, we don't have a sight line down into that chute between 1 and 2, but as they come out of 2, as they are right now, it is Jody Christie up front with Jordan Zoke running in second spot. Trevor Daly, and then I believe that to be Sébastien Tremblay, the Kawasaki ZX-10R rider out of Longueuil, Quebec, mounted on the Moto Laval and Moto Nation, Laval Moto I should say, and Moto Nation sponsored machine. And it indeed, Christie, as they get up onto the roller coaster here, working lap 1 of 22, Jody Christie on the Honda leading And I think that's actually Franklin Dominguez running in 3rd spot, and Shaker Sebastian Tremblay is back in 4th spot. So a great start by Dominguez rather. And remember, he's one of the riders that has chosen that soft compound Dunlop slick. Out onto the front straightaway now, out of turn 11. Dominguez 3rd, then Tremblay, then Daly, Hornblower, Garvey, and Caleb Noyles bringing up the back end of the pack there. I don't think he's going to be staying there for long, though. I think Caleb Noyles has got an inner fire burning from that splendid performance that he put in the Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike race. But now the Mopar Superbikes are on track, and Caleb Noyles is dealing with 190 horsepower counterparts as opposed to the 125 horsepower that we see in the Hindle Exhaust class. Now our Mopar Superbikes coming off the turn number 4 and in through the slight left-hander there. Is 5 up onto the rolling asphalt of the back straightaway, the roller coaster. Christie leads over Zoke, and they have both started to do their alien routine and move beyond striking distance of the rest of the field. Dominguez continues to hold on to 3rd. Tremblay, so we've got 2 Kawasaki's now fighting it out for 3rd spot. The Honda leading the race, and the BMW up front. Dominguez, Daly, Hornblower, and Garvey. And Garvey, you can almost sense the frustration there as he's got a sport bike rider in front of him. He's on that 1000cc CB1000 Honda, and Will Hornblower mounted on the R6 Yamaha. But Hornblower got a really good start, and as most folks will tell you, sometimes around a race course as relatively short as this one is, and most certainly one as demanding as this one is, sometimes a 600cc machine is the right machine to be using. Right now, Jody Christie is using a 1000cc Honda CBR 1000 RR. I don't know what the exact horsepower reading, but they're allowed 190, so I suspect that they're probably gall darn close to it before they put him on a national championship grid. This is eerily similar to what we saw here last year with reverse positions with Jordan Zoke leading and Jody Christie in 2nd spot. This time around it's Christie in 1st and Zoke holding on to 2nd. Dominguez separated by a considerable cushion, sitting back in 3rd spot on the OCM Eagle Pay sponsored Kawasaki ZX-10R. Let's get the full running order, noting that Marco Souza now on the number 40 bike, holding on the 9th spot, just behind Caleb Noyles on the 17 and Christopher Garvey on the 71. Hornblower is holding on the 6th spot with Trevor Daly in 5th on the 116 machine. Sebastian Tremblay in 4th. Franklin Dominguez running in 3rd spot on the 711. Jody is doing his best to get away. You're absolutely right on that one. But he has not been able to do it. Jordan Zoke, of course, obviously within striking distance, and it almost seems as though Zoke is pacing Christie and just waiting for just the right spot. Christie is certainly not overriding that motorcycle. He's maintaining his race lead, and he hasn't been pressured as of yet. Talk about pressure, though. We talk about pressure. Catch this action here. Sebastian Tremblay now has had to deal with Trevor Daly, and Daly's made the pass on him. Daly moves up 1 position. Oh, this is going to be thrilling. I guarantee you this is going to be absolutely thrilling to watch T-Rev on that Hindle Exhaust sponsored Honda that ProStar has put under him, the 116 machine. Keep an eye on him. Remember, he's the guy that came from nowhere to win that Hindle Exhaust Pro Sport Bike race, and that has whetted his appetite for another appearance on the podium here at Atlantic Motorsport Park, helping to celebrate the 40th anniversary of this venue. Daly would like to put that motorcycle in the winner's circle, and he would like to stand on the podium. If it has to be 3rd, we'll take that, but he will try for better, I guarantee you. Onto the back straightaway now is Trevor Daly, and he is in pursuit of Franklin Dominguez. Zoke looks like he's got a game plan. He looks like he's setting something up here. And Christie under a little bit of pressure just now, you might say, as they now working lap number 5. And they'll put lap number 5 in the books with that pass. 22-lap contest. Franklin Dominguez still in pursuit, and here comes Daly. Oh, look at this battle now starting to heat up between the shaker, Sebastien Tremblay, and Christopher Garvey. Garvey on the 71, Tremblay on the 24, and they run as one down between 1 and 2. Meanwhile, we focus once more. Look at the distance that Zoke and Christie have established over those in pursuit. Unbelievable. You see why I refer to them as the aliens. They are totally head and shoulders above all of the other riders on the grid. With due respect, these two are Canada's best Superbike riders. Christie, oh, and they're off their qualifying pace somewhat, so they definitely got some more speed built in them. They're running around at the 109 mark, was that they're recording right now, and they qualified at 107 and change, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan Zoka, 107.6, put him on pole position. And right now, as it was pointed out to me, their lap times in the 109 range, but they're realizing full well they've still got about 18 laps to go, as they are now working lap number 7 with 6 complete. Christopher Garvey now putting distinct pressure and shadowing. You could actually see Garvey's shadow on the side of Sebastien Tremblay's Kawasaki as they came past turn 11 here and onto the front straightaway. And as the race that we mentioned there between Garvey and Sebastien Tremblay, looks like Garvey has caught and passed Sebastien Tremblay. Good move by Garvey down there in turn 2, and as up the hill they go, Garvey starts to stretch it out a bit. Garvey on the CBR 1000 RR, and Sebastien Tremblay on the Kawasaki ZX10R. Meanwhile, back up into turn number 8, it is Zoke hounding, absolutely hounding Christie. He's not letting them get away, and Christie just sitting up front there and riding his own race and waiting for Jordan to show him a wheel or to start putting some pressure on him. Zoke using up every inch of this racetrack as he comes out of 11 and gets very close to the green part at the right side. The grassy area I'm talking about is down at the turn 2, your race leaders. Zoke trying desperately to stay with. Notice Christie at points, and that was one of them right there. Coming out of 2 up towards 3, Christie squirts it on a bit and is able to pull away a couple of bike lengths, but then it seems as though Zoke closes up on brakes and gets right back in behind him again. Watch now as they come off the turn number 4 and onto the back straight roller coaster once more. Christie with the lead on the number 20 machine. Zoke running in second spot on the 1. It looked like he had something happening there, but Christie lifting the front wheel on that powerful Honda motorcycle and staying in front of Zoke. Zoke with 45 national championship wins. Christie has 1 to his credit and hoping to make it 2 at the end of this contest. Christie out onto the front straightaway once more. And again seems to stretch it out just a tad over Zoke as they head down into 1, but it seems as though Zoke is waiting, playing one of those waiting games. Dominguez still holding on to 3rd spot, but you know full well, you gotta know full well that with due respect to Franklin Dominguez, Trevor Daly in Canadian Superbike racing is truly the coming man, and I've got a sneaking suspicion that Dominguez is going to have company within the next 2 to 3 laps. Mark my words. Race leaders out onto the back straightaway once more. Christie on that Accelerated Technologies sponsored machine with his rocket leathers and showy helmet in through turn number 7, stacks it up for the short chute over into 8. Their right knees go out and they're skipping those knee protectors along the top of the asphalt as they dial on the throttle, and the back wheels start to step out just a tad using that back wheel. Oh, Christie getting a bit of front wheel push there in turn number 10. That time around, Christie using up a bunch of asphalt, getting onto the front straightaway here. That was a much wider line than what we've seen over the last few laps out of the Honda Canada rider. And Honda, of course, would very much like to see Christie put that motorcycle on top of the podium and score a national championship win once more. They could certainly get their ad department working on that one and get some great coverage for the young kid from Keene who continues to stimulate the senses of the fans. Zoke is, oh my goodness, Zoke is getting very, very close now. Coming out of 4, I thought he had something happen in there, and if Christie had left any room at all, I think Zoke might have made his move then. He moves up again. I don't know if I'm wrong on this one, but it appears as though Zoke may be actually toying with Christie. Just sitting back there, waiting to strike. It's like watching a nature show where you've got that snake all coiled up, ready to strike out and hit its prey, and that seems to be what Zoke is doing. Meanwhile, Franklin Dominguez heads up into turn number 8. And Trevor Daly, let's remember Trevor Daly is one of the riders who's got a camera front and rear. Now he'll be able to pick up all the footage if he is able to catch up to, if Daly is able to catch up to Dominguez, and we anticipate that that might just happen. If it should happen, he's going to capture it all for us, and we'll be able to see it on csbk.ca, the TV coverage early in the week, probably Monday afternoon, Monday evening. We'll watch for that. Meanwhile, we're watching our race leaders as they come off turn 4 and 5 combination and onto that aforementioned roller coaster back straightaway. Now this is where Christie lifted his front wheel last lap around, hard on the brakes now and into the right-hander. It is turn number 7. Up into 8 once more. That exactly is where the point where Christie passed last year to take the lead. This time around, this is almost like a deja vu all over again, only this time instead of Christie following, it's Zoke that's following. Halfway, 11 laps now complete. They are working lap number 12. Dominguez still on lap number 10. He'll be coming past Canfield Corner here very shortly. And here now comes Trevor Daly in pursuit. Let's see what kind of a gap we got here. Daly has been closing and closing and closing. Right now he sits at 3.2 seconds back of Dominguez. We're going to check next time around to make the numbers prove what we're potentially seeing here. Once more, as we cover the action with Dominguez and the closing Daly, we also glance up front and realize that Christie continues to lead this race, but it has been ever so close for the duration. Marco Souza on the number 40 bike, the rookie rider, continues his charge at his personal pace, coming past Canfield Corner. Down into turn 10 comes your race leader, Jody Christie. Up into turn 8, third place man Dominguez. Dominguez on the Seamont Echo Pay OCM sponsored Kawasaki, still holding on to third spot, but he is very shortly going to find himself with company as Trevor Daly, no question about it, he is closing. 2.9 seconds now. 2.9 seconds that Trevor Daly has to make up. He's got lots of time to get the job done, and as we saw in the sport bike race, he's certainly got the skill and apparently the equipment to do the job. Christie and Zoke, the aliens, are now on the roller coaster once more. All eyes on Christie and Zoke as they have sprinted out and totally dominated this motorcycle race. There's absolutely no challenge coming from any front. And when we head off to the final 2 rounds of the Mopar Canadian Superbike Championships in August at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, I think these two are going to be going at it again. Here they come now past the Canfield Corner. And as we watch them from the second floor of the Pro Cycle Control Tower here, Pro Cycle of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, strongly supporting both the regional series down here and this weekend supporting the Mopar Canadian Superbike Championships. Dominguez Actually, I'm going to give credit to Franklin Dominguez. He has been doing a splendid job, and I really didn't think he would maintain this pace this late in the race. Dominguez has shown great sprint ability, but where he seems to have his weakest point is late in the race. And right now, as we are approaching that late stage of the race, Dominguez doing a splendid job on the Kawasaki, maintaining that third place. He would really like to have a podium finish. His teammates in the amateur division, and Nesbitt and Tommy Kazaz riding for the same team, have been doing very well for them. As we watch Zoke have a look inside, Christie left the door wide open there, and Zoke did not accept the invitation. I think Christie would like to have Zoke in front of him for a couple of laps. He knows he can run at his pace. They qualified within less than half a second of one another. The only two riders on the race course that were able to get into the 107s were Christie and Zoke. And don't forget, Christie and Zoke are both carrying cameras on board, so whatever's happening out there, we're going to catch it. Whether you can see it from trackside or not, you'll definitely be able to see it on csbk.ca. As once more, Dominguez obviously getting the proper pit signals that has allowed him to maintain the distance that he enjoys. Okay, watch carefully now up in turn 4. Marco Souza on the black number 40 machine, the rookie rider coming onto the back straightaway. Christie and Zoke are coming up on a lap rider on the roller coaster. This could be very interesting. He got the blue flag. Nice move by Marco Souza. Beautiful, as the race leaders have gotten past that BMW, and the BMW running in second spot. Looks like its rider wants to put it up in first, but nothing's happening just yet. Once again, hats off to pro rookie contender Marco Souza on the number 40 bike. That guy hailing in from Schaumburg, Ontario, and having a great ride here at Atlantic Motorsport Park in Nova Scotia. Well, I'll tell you what, both of the leading riders' motorcycles are handling impeccably. Watching them come out of turn 11 here under full throttle onto the front straightaway, and both tracking very well indeed. Dominguez now still in third spot, heading down into turn number 2. Trevor Daly on the 116 machine. He caught sight of Dominguez not too many laps ago. Where is Daly? There he is now. Oh, something has happened down there. There's a pile of dust coming up from between 1 and 2. Have we had a mishap? I see no flags. Daly apparently took an off-track excursion on the 116 machine. He was pushing too hard and just simply took it off the asphalt. That's a little bit of a bad break for Daly, but it's a good break for Dominguez. If Dominguez can keep upright and bring that Kawasaki home, he almost certainly has a podium position waiting for him. What have we got left? Working lap number 16 of 22. 6 laps to go. Holy cow. Jody Christie's got a new paint job. Jody Christie's got a new paint job on that Honda now, and it's called Color Zoke. Zoke is all over Christie. At points, he looks like he's ready to reach out and grab his rear fender to get a little bit of a tow along. He may be getting a bit of a tow right now in the soft air in behind Christie. We do have some pretty brisk winds that are blowing around the racetrack here, and depending on where they are on the course, it may have some effect on them. When they dive down into turn 2, as example, there's virtually no wind moving down there, but on the back straightaway you can clearly see the trees bending under the high winds that we're experiencing here on this July 27th, 2014. Zoke looks to the inside of one. Does he make his move? No, Christie slams the door on him. Christie maintains the racing line, and I don't doubt for a moment that he's probably picked up Zoke in his peripheral vision, but he slammed the door on the reigning champion. And Zoke is playing a very intelligent race here, playing it really smart, because if Zoke gets in front of Christie, it's like going to be like waving a red flag in front of a bull, and you can expect a reaction from that as a most certainly. Right now, onto the back straightaway they go once more, and Zoke has made his pass. Zoke has passed in turn 5. Now he leads on the back straightaway. Zoke with about 4, maybe 5 bike lengths. Christie will try to close it up. And the fans around this place are going to be going a little bit crazy, no doubt. I know Christie has an extremely strong following in these parts. And they were absolutely delighted to have seen Christie win his first national championship here last year. And the fans hoping that Christie can do it again. So reverse positions from what you saw last lap around. This time it's the BMW out front and the Honda running in second spot. Zoke leads over Christie, and the two aliens have left such a distance between themselves and our third place runner Franklin Dominguez. And Dominguez is going to come up on the lap rider number 40, Marco Souza. Souza has set him up. Souza has such a season so far that he has set himself up to capture the Brooklyn Cycle Racing Sunoco Fuels Pro Rookie of the Year award. Souza seems to be well on his way towards that, riding in both the sport bike class and here in the Superbike class using the BMW S1000RR on the black number 40 machine. Christie, oh look at him, Christie looks to the inside already. I think he's got something planned, and it looks like we might see a carbon copy from what we saw last year as Christie comes out of turn number 9. Now keep in mind they will be coming up on Caleb Noyles very soon as well. Zoke and Christie will be closing in on Caleb Noyles probably by the time they get into turn 4. 109.2, the fastest lap yet on this race, as they have definitely gone off their qualifying pace. As we mentioned, Zoke and Christie both qualifying in the 107 range, and now they're racing in the 109 range. Zoke gets a drive away, and oh, hats off to Hollywood. Caleb Noyles getting the blue flag and leaving lots and lots of room, and eliminating that high drama that we thought we might be into. Noyles doing a splendid job on the number 17 bike, getting out of the way of the race leaders who are on a torrid pace right now. Zoke trying his darndest to give himself some good distance so that Christie can't strike back. But whether it works or not, of course, remains to be seen. Right now, those two aliens working up through turns 8, 9, and presently in turn 10. We're going to catch them on turn 11 here at the Canfield corner, and we watch them from up on the Pro Cycle control tower. And if I'm not mistaken, Zoke got a wee bit of tire slippage rather coming out of turn 11 and didn't get the exact drive that he may have wanted, and Christie may be able to take advantage of that. But as of now, he has not done it. Coming out of turn 2, up into 3, up the hill, into the right-hander. They're dropping their lap times down. We're now down into the 108s all of a sudden. 108.7, so the pace on the racetrack has increased with the number of laps being recorded. Franklin Dominguez still holding on to third spot on the OCM sponsored machine. Christopher Garvey on the 71 is in 4th place. We've got Trevor Daly back into 5th spot on the 116 machine. That's your top 5. There goes Christie. He's made it pass. He's made, just listen to the crowd respond to that one. Christie has made the pass and has moved into the race lead. A return favor from number 20 on number 1, Jody Christie. Now got the race lead. Last lap. This is the last lap. Here we go. Oh man, we waited 20 laps for this, and here we go. 2.5 kilometers to go with Jody Christie out of Keene, Ontario, on the Accelerated Technologies Honda Canada CBR 1000RR. Out of turn 2, up the hill they go. Meanwhile, behind him on the Ram Trucks Parts Canada and Express Lane sponsored BMW S1000RR, the reigning champion of Canada. Perhaps on his way to his 10th. He's got 9 national championships to his credit thus far in his career. Onto the back straightaway, Zoke has made the pass. Zoke has passed him in 5. Here comes Christie. Oh, give me strength, give me fingernails. Jody Christie now in 2nd spot. Watch the launch here. He gives it a big push into turn 8. No, oh, Zoka slammed the door on him. Slammed the door and left him nothing but a Dunlop slick to look at. Christie comes back again. Christie trying his absolute best. Here he comes. In no 11. He has done it. He has done it. Down to the wire. Jody Christie has done it again. He has done it again. Oh, look at the fans celebrating around this race course. Jody Christie has done it again. What else can you say? What a thriller. What an absolute thriller of a race that was. We'll start things off talking to Franklin Dominguez here. Franklin, you had a heck of a race. You held on to third for a long time. Then Garvey threatened you. Let's talk about your race. You saw it better than I did.
Yeah, it was a good race for me. I've been dreaming about that race for a long time. I promised to OCN team this year I'm going to bring the OCN bike to the podium. And finally, in the third round, we got it. I'm really, really happy with the whole team. It was a team effort. Everybody did what it's supposed to do this weekend. And look, we're on the podium for the first time in the Canadian National Championship after 6 years racing here in Canada. So I'm really, really happy.
Well, and as I pointed out to you off mic before we come up here, Franklin, this is just the first one. Jordan, as I've commented a number of times, that was without doubt one of the most exciting Superbike races I've ever seen. Most definitely the most exciting I've seen in CSBK. Your comments, sir?
Oh yeah, obviously a bit disappointing for us. We've had such a strong bike all year, especially this weekend. It's felt so good, and you know, I knew it was going to come down to that. Our lap times were quite slow. Jody knew that it's just going to be him and I at the end. So and we went from 111s one lap to 108s the next lap. So I just sat behind him and tried to just wait it out, and then I decided to make my move with I think about 4 laps to go, and Jody got back by me, and then I got back by him, and I just made a big mistake. I just thought I had it in the bag. I thought there's no way he's going to pass me anywhere else, and I went a little slow into the last corner thinking I should just get a good run to the straight, to the finish, in case he tried to make a dash to the line, and he stuffed up the inside of me, and hey, I guess that's racing. I'm just mad at myself that I left the door open for him.
Hello, young man. Fancy meeting you here again.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be up here again on top of the box out east. Have to give it up to everybody here for putting on the event and all the fans out there. It was great to share this with you again for the second year in a row. It means a lot. Last year you didn't have a voice. This year you were a little more controlled. Yeah, last year was pretty wild. I was you know, the first win in the Superbike class. It was all out. But this year it was just almost like relief. I really wanted the redemption after crashing out of the Sportbike race earlier today. And yeah, I kept my cool. Come on, I was so excited. Everybody out on the track will know that I was waving, making sure I didn't miss a single fan out there. So super happy, absolutely. I can't give it up to my team enough. Like I said, all year long they provided me with the best bike, and I just have failed to execute for them. So to get this win for my team, Honda Canada, Accelerated Technologies, Motovan, it's huge.